I'll probably go last because I'm the only one who has kids, so that's probably gonna be a long ass discussion.
Oh wow, you're the dad of the group.
Yeah. I'm like shit. I can't say the wrong thing because my mom is sensitive.
My mom is sensitive too, but I'll just be coming at her, bro. To be honest.
Yeah, I come at her too, but this is this
But then again,
is gonna be
I'm the
recorded.
only.
I don't even know if I said it like that. I was trying to go for that. My bad. I was still writing shit down, but I'm down to start right now. All right. Well, hello. Welcome to the Code 99 podcast. What are we gonna unlock today? This your boy Carlton Giles with my co-hosts Myron and Rodney. How y'all doing today, guys?
Doing good.
Fantastic, bro.
Yeah, you know it's funny. We've been so consistent. I felt like I just talked to y'all. Like it felt like since the last episode, I felt like I just talked to y'all. How y'all been since then?
I've been good, man. Like I just recorded a podcast, and yeah, I've been chilling.
Oh, that's good. Any more push-ups, Sprad?
Yeah, I just had my chest day yesterday, so I'm a little sore, but it's part of the progress.
Oh yeah. I've been having my own goals, right, with my fitness. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm on the road to recovery right now. I had some back issues, but about to make some tough decisions in the next coming weeks. But as for right now, I've been starting small, giving myself a push-ups challenge. I got to do 7,300 for the year, but I'm gonna surpass that. You know, it's very small. Anyone could do the math and realize it's not that much. But you know, I got in my position, man. We gotta start small and then work our way up. You know what I mean? Anybody been watching new shows? Any shows that I've been watching?
I don't know if you guys got put on or have seen it yet. I just saw the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. I mean, I rewatched them because I'm a Marvel junkie, so I'm a nerd like that. So I just watched them for like the second time. Yeah, really cool show.
How was that show?
Really cool, really weird. I'm excited to see what happens
Really
next.
weird.
Nah, it's really weird, bro. Because
You said, did
Disney,
you say
right?
Wonder Woman?
It's a Disney Plus. Yeah, it's called WandaVision.
WandaVision.
It's a show. It takes Wanda, Scarlet Witch from the movies, Wanda Maximoff. It's her own show with Vision.
Okay.
Now, if you've seen Endgame or Infinity War, you know Vision he's done. He's dead. So yeah, no spoilers. I mean, it's been 2 years, right? Does it count? No, it doesn't count.
No. WandaVision? Okay, I just looked it up now. Oh, that's good reviews, though.
It's really cool. Like, because I mean, like, I don't want to spoil too much or like what's it based on or anything like that. But it's really dope to see like the nitty gritty of like how it's shot and stuff like that. Because like it's mimicking a whole bunch of like old TV sitcoms like I Love Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
At least in these first 2 episodes and stuff like that. Dick Van Dyke Show. So it's shot like on that wide, like that whole wide camera stuff like that. But then when like shit starts like getting weird, like it changes to like modern, like how you shoot modernly, and it's pretty cool. And like all the tidbits and all the Marvel Easter eggs are like in there too, which is cool. It's cool. It's cool. And you know, plus it hasn't been. We haven't seen anything like MCU wise, like Marvel wise, like in over a year and a half. Yeah. So
since the Endgame, right?
Yeah. So it's cool. It was cool to see like the logo, the Marvel logo, go through the TV. It was cool. It was comforting. It's been a hot minute, man.
Yeah, they had to take some time after that. You know, that was a great storyline, culminating over the years. So it was good that they took a break. Reset,
I think so. I think it was I think it was a blessing in disguise for them to like just have the year pause.
Mm-hmm.
So, but besides that,
2 movies a year, right? Marvel.
They were doing 2 movies a year. Until Infinity War and then Endgame, Endgame they had Endgame and the Spider-Man. Then they were gonna start pushing 3 movies a year, and then everything started happening. Like last year they were gonna have 2 movies, and then after that it was gonna 3 every year, and then all this stuff happened. So this year we're getting like technically 4 movies because we got the Black Widow, we got the Shang-Chi, we got the Eternals, and then we got the Spider-Man in December. If it pans out, because I heard rumors about like on Twitter and stuff like that They might push everything back again, the movies,
Okay.
because it's not looking good.
As long as the product is
Mm.
good, I don't mind it being pushed back.
Listen, I have no complaints, bro, because I'm not gonna risk my safetyness for just a
Right.
movie. Unless it's like Iron Man 4, I'm in there like swimmer in a hazmat suit, but that's besides the point.
Facts.
I
But yeah,
have you guys seen Lupin on Netflix?
Nah, what is that?
Lupin,
Lupin.
yeah, it's spelled Lupin, Lupin, but it's Lupin French. You guys gotta check that out. It's only a 5 show series. I'm not gonna give it away because it's very easy to get into, but definitely check it out if you want something new to watch.
Okay.
I'm like convincing my girl, and I'm like trying to give her very little details because, like I said, it's a very easy series to get into.
I gotta check that out.
Basically,
Okay.
I'll give you. It's basically about a thief who's trying to avenge his father's death 25 years later.
Okay.
Classic revenge story. I like that.
I'm telling you, it's fucking good. Like I don't want to give a description of the character because it'll give away the plot a little bit, but it's good. Trust me. And I just finished up Ozark. I'm late to
Ooh.
the fan show. I just finished Ozark.
Uh,
Ozark, man.
I that's something I like. I like it's in my back burner too. That and the Cobra Kai series,
Ah,
everyone's saying like it's
yeah,
really
Cobra
good.
yeah.
Kai, yeah.
Mhm.
I honestly been rewatching mad old stuff, especially since like HBO Max just like incorporated like they're like all the DC stuff on there. So like I've literally been watching mad old cartoons, like the
Wait,
Batman shows and stuff like that. So
whoa! I didn't know that.
you didn't know? Bro, they literally like I was January 1st. I saw that back in like November, and like I forgot like when the new year happened because everything and whatnot. But January 1st, like all the DC cartoon shows, like most of them are on there. Like Justice League is not there yet, or Superman, but they definitely have Batman animated series. They have Batman Beyond on there, all that stuff.
Whew, that's
That's dope.
2 of my favorite movies: The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. 2 of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that was a good time. Those series of movies. That was a big one.
But thanks for putting me on. I didn't know that. I know Marvel's with Disney. I didn't know HBO
Yeah, because HBO is owned by Turner, and Turner owns like
DC.
Warner Brothers.
Warner
Well,
Brothers.
I think it's Warner Brothers
Right.
owns Turner, or
Okay.
like or that partnership or
Right.
something like
Right.
that.
Right.
But yeah, they go hand in hand.
Oh, I didn't know that. HBO Max about to take my money.
That's why what you call it? Most of those Warner Brothers studio movies that because they announced like back in November like right before Wonder Woman came out, like okay, every movie that's supposed to come out is gonna come out on HBO for a month and we're gonna put it on theaters.
Yep.
Makes sense.
But the thing is like on a month for it's gonna be on HBO
Yeah,
for a
did you
month
see
only,
Wonder
though.
Woman?
So you gotta catch it.
I saw that.
Oh
shit
hell
too.
yeah! I got my review up. You want my review
Oh
on
shit!
YouTube?
I think I did see that up. I know I saw the other shit you got up too.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was cool. It was alright. Nothing crazy. I'm mad that Gal Gadot got paid like I think it was like $5 million
Yo,
in order for it to be put on HBO Max because she didn't want to put it on the streaming service. So Turner was Warner Brothers was like, "Hey,
she
I
thought
give
she
you
was
like
gonna make
5
money in the
million. What's up,
theaters.
bro?" But here's the fucked up part: other actors like Will Smith and stuff that who have projects with Warner Brothers did not get paid. So she was like looking like the only one who got paid for
Hell
that.
no.
So all their other movies are gonna be put on the platform, but they're not getting the same check that
So
Gal
she was
Gadot
smart
got.
enough to hustle for her
So
money.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
don't
don't know
she
what's
look
going
like
on
she
there,
was
bro.
like generated in a fucking lab? I was like, we're gonna make you a just fucking actress. It looked fucking perfect.
Well, bro, you know them Israelis, bro. They gotta do army for 2 years and all that stuff. Like they gotta be fit and all that stuff. Yeah.
That's a lot of shit. I respect to that.
She's too tall. She's too tall for me.
Yo, did y'all see? There's a few shows I was watching, right? Shit called Tiny Pretty Things. I was watching it with my girl.
No.
That and Grand Army. Tiny Pretty Things is like it's a really good show. It's about some ballerinas, but it's a lot of corruption in that shit too. It speaks on, basically rape culture and just like what people do behind the scenes and how it formulates. It's only the first season's in, but it's pretty epic, pretty dramatic. I would recommend it. Grand Army, speaks about the same things, but it's high school based. But it speaks on a lot of those, topics. Those hard topics that we all having those conversations about today. Even still talk about terrorism and like homosexuality and shit like that. Um, I just ran into this show called Fresh Off the Boat. It's by
Oh, that
Yeah,
show's
I think
dope.
Eddie
That's off the
Huang.
boat.
Yeah, it's like an Asian
Yeah.
family moving to America and like starting their own business.
Yep.
Yo, I mean, when you see the parallels between like people's struggles and how they had to come up, like it's amazing, and I recommend that for anybody to watch. It's a good comedy, but it's also educational in a way, but it's dope.
On what streaming service?
I watched it on Hulu.
That's a
Yeah, but
that's
it's
a
on
ABC
ABC. It's
show,
like six
so
seasons in.
you should be able to
Yeah.
watch it on Hulu. Yeah, it's really cool. It takes place in the 90s and stuff like that,
hmm
so it's like really
You
like
see like
ideas.
appearances from Shaq. You see appearances from DMX, Jalen
Yeah, there's a
Rose.
lot of the best part of that show
Yeah,
is
I
the
love it.
interactions
I
and stuff. And
love.
stuff like, because the little Chinese dude spread it in the to get the little Chinese. The main character is
His name is Eddie Huang in real life.
yeah, and he loves
hmm
rap music, so he's like some little Asian dude who like likes hip hop and all that stuff. So he just be
Yeah,
jamming out to like all that classic stuff.
Oh man,
yeah. You'll like it. You'll like it. It's,
Yeah, it's a fun show, man. It's a fun show. It's on like it's kind of like Blackish because like they started like
yep.
ABC started doing all them like shows like correlate to people of color
hmm
and all that stuff, which is cool.
That's true. It's like an Asian Blackish. Yeah, this shit is crazy. I mean, it hits some
I haven't seen
stereotypes off, but
Blackish, but I've heard good things about Blackish.
Blackish
Blackish,
is oh my
I haven't
god.
seen it in a while, but in like that first couple seasons, bro, I
I
was
love Blackish. I
rolling.
love Blackish.
That shit was so funny, and it's so like
Yeah,
on
it's
point
so on
too.
point. And then it got so big that it got a few spin-offs. It got Blackish, Grownish,
Right? She got
Mixish,
Grownish, and what's the other one? Oh, they're gonna do Mixish, and they're gonna do
Oldish,
Oldish
and
now
then
with the
they even got
grandparents.
Black AF. And that's with Kenya Barris.
I
Kenya
didn't know
Barris
about
is in
that.
it. That's like him, and it's like reality based, quote unquote reality based. It's like him and his fake family, but it's actually him.
I did not
Yo,
know
it
it
got
got
that
that
big,
big. To
and
be
he's
honest,
hilarious when you see it because Anthony Anderson character is supposed to be him. It's like based off of Kenya Barris, so like it's like Kenya Barris actually being himself, and then like you give him a fake family that's supposed to be his children. But if you see how he acts, yo, bro, you will be cracking up. Like yo, it's like he's like ignorant. Like to the nth degree, but like he's like that. What they say, the nigga rich or hood rich, whatever you want to call it. But like it's in like the
mm-hmm.
purest way. But it's funny as fuck, bro. Like you gotta see that shit. Oh man, that shit had me cracking up.
Blackish. Damn, that's a lot of
Yeah,
episodes
Black
I
is
gotta
really
catch.
good.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit.
Nah, but it's worth it, bro. Because like I said, it's like so. It's like what's it called? What's that word? I'm looking for. Damn, it's not fourth wall breaking, but like it's like so like aware of itself. That's what I'm looking. Yeah, it's like so aware of itself. So like, and it'll hit topics that you like. Like it has to hit. Like it's a show about like a black family, so like it's gonna hit.
Yeah, and just to finish it off, I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but shout outs to the show The Shy and Survivor's Remorse. I watched both of them shits too. Shy is really good. It's still going.
Shy.
Yeah, man.
I heard the Shy.
It's still going. Survivor Remorse ended. It got canceled, but from the series that had, I'm actually gonna bring up some good topics for future episodes from this episode from the series. So remember that, and but just shout out to The Shy, man. It's a great series. Keep it going. I'm waiting to see what's next season. But anyone heard about that James Harden trade, huh?
We all agree that the Nets might win the East, right?
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now.
Because I'm standing on my ground. I'm like, Antetokounmpo Giannis, he don't got it in him to pull it out.
No, he don't. Not against them three. I don't know what's gonna happen with Kyrie. He's obviously been up and down, but he obviously knows what he's doing. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about him, but if antics keep up, he probably will get traded. But either way, that team is they're looking good.
Yo, they were talking about on Twitter like, yo, just trade Kyrie for Westbrook and get them
That's
back together,
what
get
I've
the
been
band back
saying.
together.
Since before they got back together, I've been wanting them to go. Yo, if anybody look at those teams, first of all, they was all drafted together. If they stayed together, there would have been no Golden State. There would have been no Splash Brothers. It would have been them three. They would have been the big three, all drafted together. If they come back together at this point, it looks like a super team. But in all honesty,
They weren't
they
MVPs when
weren't
they were
MVP when
No,
they're
together, though.
together,
they
and they
all
all
got
got
drafted
drafted
together.
together.
So
So
it's
it's
like
like
them
them
coming
coming
back
back
together.
together.
Yeah, they all got
But now
drafted.
they
But
on.
they're
We need
after each
Reg.
other.
If
Mhm.
Jeff Green's on that team, that means we got to get the Reggie
No,
Jacksons back.
no.
We got to get the Ibaka's back. We got to
They already
get.
got Jeff Green.
Fuck Reggie Jackson. Get Jeff Green back. Get my boy Russ. Maybe get Cephalosha. I don't know.
Except for Losha, wow, throwback.
Perkins could be the assistant coach, the defensive
Big
coach,
facts.
He's stupid.
and then just give Scott Brooks lifetime tickets to their games. You know,
Scott Brooks. Get him
I'm
in a
weak.
permanent seat right next to the coach's bench.
exactly.
Oh shit! No, it's all right. Well, with this trade, with the pieces they got now, with Kyrie, Harden, and Durant. First of all, Durant looking like he never got injured.
He looks
So
better. This is the best Kevin Durant I ever
Bro,
fucking seen.
he's on the. He looks what it is, just resting,
That's what
bro.
you think?
Like, all right, cool. He got hurt and then he recovered and rested, and he's just like, fuck it.
his
Ball out.
game doesn't call for him to use a lot of energy either. Like his game is so smooth. He's not like trying to run through people. He's not using too much strength. He's just seriously dribbling, take a couple, one move, two
Pull up.
move, pull up. Like you
Yeet.
said, yeah, like he does it effortlessly, man. It's just
Bro, he's
Yo,
looking
he looks
disgusting
godly.
right now, bro.
That man looks godly out there,
and his
man.
defensive IQ is up there too. Like he's been. I'm not saying he over here playing lockdown defense, but he definitely know how to like read those passing lanes. He definitely know how to like read and react. He's doing a lot better. So
You know what it reminds me of? Just to a
what?
different, obviously it's a different situation. We all know how great LeBron is, but when LeBron was in Miami and that certain system, certain players around him, you really seen like LeBron at his best.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like Kevin Durant, not that he wasn't great in Golden State, but we always knew that he has it on his mind that I had to live up to his expectations. Obviously, capture that first chip, and then this is also Stephen Curry's team. So now it's his own team. Everything runs through him, and damn, like this man is averaging damn near 31 points. I think like 54% field goal. I think like 40, 45 from three. Like,
yeah.
45% from three, bro. I know, like, no, bro. Like, to be honest, the other day I was
I
looking at
gotta
the
look
game
it up
and he
to
was
be
just like
exact.
winding up easy. It
He's
was
doing
like,
his thing, man. He's skyrocketed. But then you add James Harden, who's a triple double threat any night. On top of that, he could score 30 any night, and on top of that, he could get 10 assists any night. So either way, he's going to be a threat to the team. If he's off shooting wise, he got
Wait. Sorry to cut
Kyrie.
you off, Carlton, but
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is shooting 48% from three.
God
What?
damn. God
Yo, what?
damn. No.
I had to get the exact number. 48. That is
Yeah.
that's unheard of.
Yeah, I don't like. All right, salute to that. Salute to that. So you already know what Harden's doing when he can't score. He passing this to Durant because most likely half the time he gonna make the basket. And then on the other side, you got Kyrie. He is, he's a wild card. You don't know if he's gonna play or not, how he gonna act or not. But we do know he's gonna ball out. He could definitely ball out, and I think
Does he
the
bring
good
the
thing
team
about the
down?
team. Nah, as far as production wise, no. He helps them, but antics off the court, that's yet to be seen. We got to see, because honestly, I think that part of it was all antics. It's just try to not to make him tradable, part of it. And then so now that they got all the pieces, I don't see him really becoming a problem, becoming an issue unless he wants more touches. But I don't think he brings the team down. I think that team's stronger with him, with them. Well, all three of them. It's just
Can he handle being a number 3?
I don't know.
Bro, someone on Twitter said he went from being LeBron's Robin to
Basically,
being James Harden and Kevin
basically.
Durant's
But
Alfred.
I think with this team, because they're all scorers and they're all shooters, like they're gonna have their turns having a good game, like having that off game, and I think they're really gonna be selfish as far as um, the rest of the team goes. They ain't gonna give them the ball. It's gonna be them three scoring, and the rest of the team gonna play defense.
Th-
Yeah,
th- That's exactly what they need to do, though. That's it.
yeah, he
And
needs to
James
be
Harden
the
needs to have the
primary
ball. I
because
mean, in his
he's a
hands the whole
playmaker,
game, most of the game at least.
and that's where
Yep.
Kyrie and
Yep.
Kevin Durant is gonna get their points off of too, because he gonna dish it out to them. James Harden is great at
Mm-hmm.
penetrating the defense, and once he gets out, he can dish it out to anyone. He has great court vision when it comes to that, and they go all shoot, so it really could work out in all their favors. And then you got DeAndre Jordan who can cut and get to the basket real quick, and then you got Jeff Green who could. Yeah, Kyrie had to be serious.
Kyrie just got to be serious, man. And
So
they
wait,
can
so you guys both
easily
agree
compete
they
with the
should
Lakers
keep
and maybe
him,
even win the chip.
not trade.
So this is what I would say. I would say either way, it's a win-win situation for them because if you keep him, he's going to be good, and if you do have to trade him, you're going to get good trade value for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep, you're gonna get
James
either role
Harden
players
and
or
Durant
another
by
like
themselves are
star.
great, but if you could get someone, you could get a great piece around Kyrie.
Like another center since you lost
Yeah, they need another
Jared
big
Allen
man
or another shooter
or another
or
playmaker.
someone who
Yeah,
plays defense. So like they're good, bro. Either way, Kyrie's still an asset.
It's a good
Trading or
problem to
playing.
have.
So
it's a great problem. I want that problem.
yes, exactly. You're in a great position, bro. You're a threat
Yeah.
regardless. I
mean,
think they
they
just
took
became
it.
the favorites.
We got to see how it
body.
plays out, how chemistry plays out. But when it comes to the playoff time, when it comes to, they definitely got to.
My thing, I'm just excited to see if Giannis actually put
Did y'all see that game
put
the other day?
up the belt and like puts in some work, bro. Because
Mm-hmm.
the Milwaukee
I've
Nets game.
seen some of it.
No,
What
I
was
didn't see
that?
the
I
whole
watched
thing.
some of it.
I haven't even seen the
Yeah.
highlights.
They pulled
either.
out. The Nets pulled out, but Giannis held his own. They need more. The Milwaukee
Yeah, I know
Bucks,
they
Giannis
won.
can't do it on his own. No one. They gotta get this thing out. Like nobody can do it on their own. Nobody can do it on their own. Jordan never did it on his own.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear any more LeBron smack talk because the fact that KD had two big threes and LeBron struggled to just try to get the salary cap in Miami to work to have him, Wade, and Boston
Listen,
on the same team.
Point
I don't
blank
hear this shit.
period. Nobody could do it on their own.
No.
So Giannis is not doing it on his own. That's why he lost to Miami. Miami didn't have superstars. I still don't think Jimmy Butler's a superstar. He's a great player. He's an all-star. But a superstar, those are people who could carry a team. The team carried themselves. You understand? And he was just a part of it. He led that. So I respect them for that. But but it's a team effort
Yes.
at the end of the day. You can't do it on your own. So Giannis ain't gonna make it nowhere, especially when it comes down to crunch time. When everybody tired. When it's like game 6, everybody know your sets. Everybody know this, and now it's one-on-one play, and it's just you. They're closing up the paint, and you ain't got nobody else besides Chris Middleton. And then you got to deal with a three-headed monster. You ain't gonna win that. You need help.
Does Giannis' flaws in his game prove that you need a guard, a wing? Because if you think about it, everyone wants him to improve his shooting. I'm pretty sure Giannis puts in a lot of fucking work. It may not just happen. It may not happen. He may never become a decent, respectable shooter. So that leaves him basically being a more modernized big, which means most of his games are going to be inside the paint. So he may just have to accept you're a fucking big. I know you want to be this transcendent kind of wing, do it all kind of player. You're just a big, and you're gonna need like a James Harden, or maybe a Bradley fucking Bill.
Yeah, I mean, 100%.
I don't. He's not a KD.
Again, nobody.
He's not a KD. Giannis will never be a KD. You're not gonna.
Yeah, he's not. I think you said it before. He's more like a modern day Shaq,
He
just as far
is.
as dominance goes. I mean, obviously Shaq wasn't like a perimeter player and driving like Giannis is, but as far as dominance go versus everybody in the NBA,
Yeah, what they
like
do
he's
best,
pound for
nobody's fucking
pound.
with him. What Shaq did best
Yeah,
then, nobody's was fucking with him then, and what Giannis do best now, no one is fucking with him.
yeah. Regardless, they can say, "Oh, all he do is drive to the basket and dunk," but no one
Yes.
could stop it. So why would you stop? Why would he stop?
Well,
So
no
like,
one's
but yeah,
stopping.
he do
So
need someone to help
exactly.
him on the perimeter for sure. But it's not gonna be Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton again. He's like he's great. He could get you your points because he could score. But certain players are good for like being a third scorer
Yo, they
or
need
just being
Bradley
that extra
Bill. Fuck
scorer. But
all
they need
that.
someone else.
They need Bradley
Bradley
Bill.
Beal might be a good one.
I don't know.
Bradley Beal might be a good
I
one.
know they don't got pieces probably, but they need Bradley Bill. That's it.
I think Giannis was he messed up trying to show this damn loyalty. I mean, I respect loyalty, but come on, do you want to be loyal or you want to win, bro? Like this is the NBA. Any team will let you go in a heart. The minute you show less value, you're gone. There's no loyalty to you.
Yep.
You gotta stop letting ego, stop letting the media, stop letting everybody dictate how you're gonna feel and what decisions you gotta make. Because I'm sure if he had the real chance of not really giving a shit, he would have been on another team already. But now he got to show loyalty to his team, show loyalty to the fan, whatever. All right, cool. Right after, I'm sure he regretting seeing his team. He fucked
Mm-hmm.
up because he got another like 5 years now,
Yeah,
like whatever he has. Like,
I got a good team for him.
Yep.
Flip him to Golden State.
traded for who?
Yo, I'm sorry, but you better give up Clay and Draymond.
They were asked for like Wiseman.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
true.
wild, bro.
No, well, to be honest, it
You
depends
you
on
broke
how
up
they
I
the
think
core
view.
Curry
then.
and him
The
would
core
be
that makes that
beasts.
team.
That's what I'm saying. A pick and roll with the two of them. What?
Yeah, that'd be beasts. You probably like the ultimate shooter and then like this fucking dominant. Yeah, that'd
Or no,
be
you said it right. Maybe instead of Clay and Draymond, maybe Draymond and Wiseman.
yeah.
You got
Draymond
Wiseman,
Wiseman and Eric Paschall, whatever his name is.
I'll see that
Wiseman,
before.
Draymond, Drew Holiday, Middleton. That's still like a 4, 5, 6 seed in the East, maybe
And like your draft picks until 2030.
type shit. Yeah, 2030. Because I can't really see him on any other team. You're not going to trade Giannis for like Prozing. Well, yeah, you're not going to trade Giannis for like Porzingis or something.
Yeah.
Do Miami have assets?
I thought they were
Yeah,
trying to get Bradley
Miami?
Beal.
Miami.
Yeah, they were trying. I don't know what they're going to do. They need to chill out. Miami
Yeah.
is in a predicament. They didn't really get better, but they didn't get worse either.
He said they need to chill out. That was
No, they
fucked
don't
up.
need to make no. I mean, I think the next move don't need to be no other mediocre guy. Because if you're going to trade too much for, like, I'm sorry, yo, I love Bradley Beal. He's a great scorer, but he's not leading my team. You understand? Like, if you're going to trade your pieces that made you who you are, it better be for someone who could lead a team on their own.
All right, I became a Bradley Bill believer. No, I always respected his game, but I'm like, is he really that guy that's going to take you to the next level? Which is how I feel about Devin Booker. I think Bradley Bill can, man. I think this kid is serious. Like, I think he can get shit done.
Think so?
We still gotta wait for the season to pan out because this is the first time. Well, it's I don't know, like because he got the ball, like he got the team,
Right.
like officially, like when John Wall hasn't been playing
No?
since last year. But like I don't know, I don't think he has that spark. Like he can play. I don't think he can carry you though. No, because you gotta have a certain. You gotta carry yourself a certain way. He does, and I know he does it quietly. Don't get me wrong. He lets his game speak for
You
himself.
know what?
But
That's
like
how I
this
feel
is something
about
like
Zach
that's
LaVine.
missing. Just same with Giannis. He just
Okay.
yeah, he can play. I mean, but he just I don't know. Like there's something missing, and you need to have it. I don't think Bradley Beal is there yet, or he hasn't shown it to us yet. You know, because maybe he subconsciously knows that he's just not on a contending team, so he's just playing his role. Like, yo, I'm just gonna be the star of the team and drop buckets.
Nah, he would kill in Miami, though. he would.
He would do. He
No,
would
no.
do his thing in Miami.
In a regular season, he would kill. I get, but y'all talking about the playoffs?
It's a whole nother.
He would definitely make the team better.
Because you got to think
only
about
on
it this
like the
way.
spreading the floor
Everything
and
you
all that
have
stuff.
to compare to
And,
like the Nets at this point. Like you putting Bradley Beal on Miami, would that really compete with the Nets?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nope.
I don't think
No.
so.
I don't think so. James Harden and KD are just too deadly, bro. Like that. Like I know people are saying like, "Oh, I'm not scared of the Nets or whatever." Like
It's
but
different.
I think you should.
It's a different beast that you got to play with because they might be good defensively, Miami, but KD's a animal and a beast of his own. Where you gotta change, you gotta
Yo,
adjust your offense to.
James Harden be slipping up. Who knows? Bam could probably hold that down for a couple possessions. I don't, off the
I
stick
see
off.
Bam guarding KD, but you probably got
Yeah,
Jimmy to guard him.
who's guarding James Harden?
But I mean, it's all like good defensive matchups. But on the other side of things, it's gonna be like what happened with Miami versus the Lakers. Like, you're gonna see the experience come out. You're gonna see certain things just overpower that team. You got KD and you got James Harden in their prime right now. Regardless if Kyrie gonna be there or not, he's still like a lethal scorer. So it really, I don't want to say nothing too early because we got to see how the chemistry plays out. Because obviously that's what Miami, they dominate. And even though they slow, they've been playing slow. They're not even like in the playoff race right now.
They're
They've been
not.
playing slow, but but that's more COVID shit. Like
Yeah,
certain players. Um, but that's what they're known for. They're known for their chemistry. And if they run with chemistry 100% down pack, it's gonna be hard to beat them. But it's also, regardless of what's gonna happen, it's gonna be hard to beat the Brooklyn Nets team. Um, I just want to put this out there, right? For this whole trade, it was a blockbuster trade. The Rockets got Victor Oladipo, Roddy and Currix, Dante Exum, and 4 unprotected draft picks. Um, four four unprotected first round pick swaps. The Nets got James Harden, and the Pacers got Karis LeVert and a 2023 second round pick from Houston. There were some things about Karis LeVert as well. They said a cyst around his kidney. Yeah, he has to
Oh,
go get
he's
that
not even
checked out.
playing.
Prayers to him. Hope everything's okay. Nobody wants to see that happening. But say he do get back on the court soon. I'm sure he's gonna be a beast in Indiana.
that's a good look, man.
I'm happy. I'm happy for Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo got he got some good players around him and John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins now. It's a nice little mini big three. But you got Christian Wood as well. Christian Wood might take DeMarcus Cousins' spot though. That's what it was looking like. I think all teams won in this trade though.
No, I feel like
That's of Indiana.
Houston lost.
I mean, you're gonna lose if you lose James Harden. You cannot replace James Harden's value. But they got 8 picks basically. They got a future.
Let
Or
John
trade him
Wall
for
and DeMarcus
younger
Cousins
value
probably figure it
pieces.
out from the like.
They're gonna have
Right.
a good team. Like right now, like in 5 years.
Yup.
One thing I
Yup.
say
Yup.
about
Yup.
the Rockets, they always relevant. They might not always win, but they
They're
hardly
like Portland.
like say
Portland.
the
They're
last
just
10
like
years.
Portland. They're always relevant. Indiana too in the
Mm-hmm.
East, always relevant.
Yeah. So they know how to keep it. They know how to keep it in rotation, and they got a bunch of draft picks. So we gotta see what that leads to. But yeah. So we got a more serious topic to talk about today. You know, I'm gonna give our audience some background, right? So me, Carlton, I went to school or high school, the Eagle Academy for Young Men, with Rodney, right? So me and him, we know each other from way back when. Me and Myron, we went to college, Mercy College together. So I know him. I won't say way back when, but we know each other for almost like 10 years now, right? So but the thing is, Myron and Rodney
Mm-hmm.
don't really know each other too well. So we came up with a good idea on creating this topic to not only let our audience know who we are and how we were raised, but also for all of us to get to know each other a little better, right?
Sounds good.
So we're gonna dive into some childhood stories. A little bit trace what we admire of our parents, what things we wish our parents differently. Um, Anybody want to start this off, Myron?
Uh, I'll start if you want to. I don't even know where to start. Um, Well, yeah. So I'm an only child. So
You was born in
grew
the
up with just my
Bronx,
mom
born and raised.
here and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
born in Manhattan, raised in the Bronx. Yeah, up in Manhattan. Um, but yeah, so I pretty much just grew up
Okay.
like I didn't really have siblings. Like I had no siblings. My dad was never around. Well, not never around. He was there in the beginning, but then they left. Their problem, not my problem. To be honest, I stay away from that. Um, I mean, at the end of the day, like my mom and my dad got divorced, but I had nothing to do with that. So, and they didn't make it seem like it, which is like I appreciate a lot. Um, because yeah, like that's something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I'm involved in that, but it's not like my issue. That's their issue. So I appreciate that. Well, yeah. So it was just me and my mom alone for a long time. Uh, uh, mm, I looked up to like
Mm-hmm.
my dad, my father figures were my uncles and stuff
Gotcha.
like that. My siblings were my cousins who were always around. Um, and yeah, like I didn't really have issues growing up because like since being an only child, like my mom like I don't want to say spoiled, but yeah,
That's that
that's what
single
it kind of was.
child
Like
syndrome.
I kind of got everything I wanted. So
Look at everything. Makes
exactly,
sense.
I like yeah, like so I kind of yeah, I low key got everything I wanted like most of the time to be honest, and so I couldn't really complain. It was only rough when I became like older and like I was in school. Um, you know, my mom tried to like typical like single Spanish mom like not not coddle me but just like try to keep me as safe
Mm.
as possible, and I appreciated that, but there were just certain things where like it was just overbearing, and like I understood where she was coming from, don't get me wrong, but it was just one of those things like like lay off on me a little bit because it's not like I'm doing anything wrong. Like I will understand if I was like just like I was a train wreck and just going down this bad path, but I was never a guy who did that. Like I was always a straight A student. I did what I was supposed to do. I ended up going to college. Like I did everything right while also trying to learn. Like at the end of the day, like you
Right.
got to do what's right by you, and you also got to grow and learn these things. Like like that's a part of life. Like being a teenager, you got to juggle a bunch of things, right? So yeah, it was just kind of hard because my mom would like, try to like keep me like close in. I remember funny story. I remember my mom used to like yell at me for coming home. Like, I went to Catholic school, so like going to Catholic school, like I went in that typical day. Then like afterwards, I would like we would hang out
Oh,
Oh, that's
like at
where
Castle
you
Hill
Scanlon.
and the Wendy's and stuff like that. Shout out to
That's where
Scanlon,
you went,
the Wendy's
Scanlon.
and all that stuff in Castle Hill. Yeah, so what happened? Yeah, I went to Scanlon. Yeah, off the Hutch. I would go, everyone. The meetup spot was either Wendy's on Castle Hill, the Mickey
So y'all
D's
was
on like
that annoying group of
Parkchester. We
kids in
hang out by the
Parkchester
train station or
on
whatever, or we
McDonald.
go on Fridays. I'll meet up with some of my friends. What the? Yeah, yes, it was. It was either us or the St. Raymond's kids, bro. So because St. Raymond's was like on Castle Hill, so they would come like link us. Like like when it
Right.
comes to Catholic schools, like everyone knows each other. It's like a tight like knit group, even though we went to different schools. You knew someone in every other school or something. But I remember just hanging out with like eat lunch or whatever, like just hanging out like whatever. Or I would go to a friend's house, and I would never forget my mom used to yell at me because I'm like, "Yo, why are you coming home? Like you've been out all day." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was at school." And I just went to hang out and came home. So she was literally thinking like
Yo,
I was doing
my
something all
mom used
day
to
or
freak
whatever.
out
She made it
too.
seem
I
like
used
that
to
at
not
least.
be able to hang out.
So yeah, it was. Yeah, like I wasn't even doing anything. And like I said, like I would be the guy, like person, like once I came home, I would do what I have to do for school. Which honestly, like to be honest, like like high school was so long ago for me now that I don't even remember even doing homework. To be honest, but I did it because I passed, right? So, but but yeah, I would come home, do my homework, and then play Xbox, and that's it. And wake up and do the same thing the next day. So I would never understood why she was like always like on me and on me. And I know it was to try to get me on the right track, but I was never a kid to deter. Like like I knew what I
Gotcha.
wanted to do, and I knew
Where
what
were
I
you
had to do.
into it? Your interests.
Yeah.
Oh, the same things I am in now, bro. I'm a giant kid. My girlfriend calls me 5. She calls me 5 years old to this day. Cause nothing's changed. I was always like growing up. I was like into the comic things, the cartoons, the video games. It was only like when I got a little bit older, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So when I got to like the film stuff, and I started looking into that and like into that world, and like started looking at movies differently. And so yeah, like, nothing's changed. I literally from then until now, like I still watch the, we just talked earlier about the, Marvel stuff. Like like that's like near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I literally collected comics for a little bit because that's something I always wanted to do. And I remember when like DC had like restarted like their rebranding thing, the New 52, and it was like coming out with #1 issues. Me and my friend Caesar, we went down to like the comic store we had noon, and we were going there every week to buy the issues and stuff. Because that's something, like I said, I always wanted to do. I bought like the figurines. I have like Batmans and stuff like that, and like I go to the Comic Cons. Um, yeah, to be honest, it went from like me liking all these things as a child and wishing I could do like growing up with the wrestlings and growing up with the comics to finally being able to like, oh, I can finally buy my
Right.
own comics. I could go to these wrestling shows. I could go to the Comic Cons because I have my own money now and I can spend it. So yeah, like honestly, that's just me in the bag. Like you name it,
Yeah, I used to get mad at
and
mine
I'll
because
probably
he always
like
come back
enjoyed it
with a
or
story
watched it
about
or have something
Comic-Con,
to
but
say
never
about it.
tell me when he get tickets. I'll be like, you motherfucker.
Bro, those are so hard. You want to hear the trick about getting tickets? Shout out to Elam and Raul, my best friend Caesar's girlfriend, and Elam his sister. So they doing work or whatever, they would literally wait uh for example, like last year would be like they'll log in to the website to buy the tickets and they'll make the virtual queue. As soon as they get a
Oh,
chance to
okay.
buy, one of them will text me, okay, how many tickets you need? How many this and now? And I'm like, oh shit, how many tickets we need? Oh, okay, I need go. Who's going? Okay, cool. And they'll just buy it. I'll send them the money, and they'll put the name,
Gotcha.
the ticket in their name, and they'll just transfer it later on. Cause I will try, but like sometimes like I
Okay.
wouldn't make the queue, or I'll be too behind, or they get before me. Here's a fun story. I remember doing Comic Con line. Um, I don't know how long ago this was now. It probably had to be like 5 years ago or something like that. But it was like one of these stores in Manhattan were doing like
Okay.
a sale in the morning for the tickets. We made the line, and we were kind of close to the beginning of the line, so we weren't too far, so it was perfect spotted. But we literally stood there all night. Like this is spring, New York spring, so it wasn't too cold. So we just stood the night and we just chilled there and made the line and waited to buy tickets
Shit.
all night. I never forget that because I broke night. I didn't sleep because I was not gonna sleep on the side, no sidewalk. Fuck out of here. So even if we had chairs and shit, I was not sleeping in the line. And um, me and my friend Steph, she was there. She came to hang out. She wasn't even buying tickets. She just came to hang out. She was just chilling, and we vibed with all these nerdy dudes in the line. We were playing Mario Kart on the DS and all that stuff, and they were chatting and all that stuff. I went and took a walk.
Mhm.
I walked from that was on 42nd and 6th, I believe, or 5th or something. That store, and we ended up walking down to like 23rd just to walk, and it was like literally like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning in New York City. It was like literally quiet,
Right.
somber, and nothing was going on. Yeah, New York City, quiet. I know. And yeah, it was dope. It was dope. It was dope. It was dope like experience. Because as soon as we bought the tickets, we bought them, came back home, and I
Listen,
knocked out.
next time, whoever buying them tickets, right? Make sure you get me
How
one,
much are the
right?
tickets?
How many days ago?
It depends on it depends on how many days you go and stuff like that. So they used to do like a 3 day ticket, and it will cost like maybe like $80, but you get to go all 3 days. And but now they separated that because they trying what happen is that they're trying to limit the scalpers because there will be
As
so many people
always.
just buying a shit ton and then flipping them for mad money. So what they did now, yeah. So what they did is like they separated the days and like all that stuff. So like typically for like let's say if you want to go on a Friday, you pay like maybe $50-$60, and then for Saturday, which is their biggest day because that's the first day of the like not the first day of the weekend, but that's like the first day everyone can go and like and whatever. And it's like the days are longer no are longer there. We'll probably pay like maybe like $70 to $80. So if you want
Mm.
to go all 3 days, you're gonna have to
I
pay
mean, I've
like
never been
each
into
day
Listen,
like
separately, which
comics
sucks.
heavy,
But
but that's something I just wanted to go to see what the experience is like.
nah, bro. Honestly, it's become more of a it's become more than that. What Comic Con is just like this giant um it's still a comic convention at the end of the day, right? Like all this nerdy stuff is going on, but it's become such a culture thing where it's like, okay, we know people are gonna go here, we're gonna show you this and stuff like that, and all this is like, there's gonna be something for everybody at Comic Con now. It's just not like
Yeah,
the nerdiness and stuff like that. That's there, but it's
yeah.
just more
Don't
than
they?
that now.
They talk
It's
about video games and shit too, right?
like and not and they talk about video games. They talk about something. They'll bring guests down. They'll probably bring people on to do stuff and shit like
Be
that.
wrestlers there
There's
sometime,
always like
right?
giant Yu-Gi-Oh tables there playing. Like there's a bunch of stuff, and then wrestlers are there just signing on autographs stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's just
crazy.
it becomes such a cultural thing. And one of my favorite things to do is that Caesar my friend Caesar put me on. He likes going to like the artist alley, which is like artist alleys where they have like um either the comic artists or people who want to be artists who have a good following. They buy a booth and they sit there at a booth and they literally like chat with you. Um, you could buy some prints of their work, or you can ask for commissions of the work. So if you like the artist's art
Oh,
style,
that's
like,
cool.
hey, can you draw me this? And you pay the money and they'll do it for you. Yeah, so I remember like I'm staring at it right now. I bought some cards and
Nice.
a little like a postcard of the Fiend of some lady that she drew and she had prints. I'm like,
Well, that's
how was the print?
dope.
She's like, oh, for like $5. All right, cool. Let me get one, and I have it right here on my whiteboard. And she was into wrestling herself. I remember that was the year him and Seth Rollins were gonna fight in the Hell in a Cell. We talked about it.
Yep.
And she was like, who do you think is gonna win? And I'm like, I hope it's the
It's
Fiend. And
probably
we
one of the
already know how that
greatest
turned out.
fucking character changes they had, or evolutions. Character evolutions. I wouldn't even say change. That's just the evolved
Yep.
character of who he was. That's dope. Um, is there anything you did you wanna go, Sprad, or should I go? You want me to go?
Uh, yeah, you can go ahead.
All right. Well, you know, I was born and raised. I can't say fully raised in the Bronx, New York, but I was born in the Bronx. I think at the age of 10, I moved down to Florida, lived a year in Orlando, and then 1 year in Ocala. Came back to New York at the age of 12. Basically lived here ever since. Despite like a year away in college and another semester away in the UK. But for the most part, um, I was raised by my mother. I was in the same, it was me, my mom, and my sister. I have several siblings though. I have three sisters, one brother, but I only live with one sister and my mom. My dad always been around in my life though. Shout out to him. He always been around. But obviously it's gonna be different growing up in that household with both parents versus one parent.
Right.
Dealing with those struggles of financial issues, just different things for discipline. I don't want to. I ain't gonna like. I ain't here to like make my parents feel bad or nothing like that. But of course, certain disciplinaries. I love being with my mother for the fact that she allowed me to be more free. I don't have no curfew. She spoiled me a little bit. Bought me a bunch of video games. She was a little strict. She did not trust the outside. And she grew up in the hood too, so she did not trust me being outside. She made sure I had everything I needed in the house. She was just like your mother. Myron, I remember one day I went. It was like after school. She never let me like. I literally was not allowed to hang out. Like I could not hang out. So like one day I went out after school
You're
to a
low key,
friend's
yeah.
house. It was like a couple of us, and we just and this when live was still, live was still popular. We went just to play some live and chill out.
Woo!
Yeah, nothing even crazy. We were just hanging out. It was like one day we had like a half day or some shit like that. Yeah, I didn't answer my mom's phone call for like an hour. Yo, she called me like 5 times, freaked out. And by the time I answered, I asked her what's up. She was like, "Oh my god, blah blah. You selling drugs or something?" I'm like, "What the hell?"
That's what she
Like,
said.
no, yeah, like
Yeah, bro. My mom used to do the same thing. She used to think I was doing the most
yeah,
things. Like it would
she'd
be
freak
the
out. She
craziest
just,
ideas. I'm
come
like,
up with the
bro, I'm just literally
craziest
sitting on the
fucking
couch.
ideas of what might happen, what could be happening and shit like that. So, I mean, that was one of the things that was just like, oh my god. And by the time I went to college, I'm telling you, it was like complete. I went away to college my first year, my freshman year. I was, drinking and partying for the first times and just having fun. That I never knew I really could have had. You know what I mean? So like, it definitely opened my eyes. I was like, man. Obviously, I ain't gonna say I wish I was drinking younger, but at least just being more sociable. Um, you know, as far as my dad, like what was good about him, he was real disciplined. Just as far as different things, like I wish I was listening to him more about consuming food and like being healthy with that. I remember it was like a couple years I lived with my dad. Once I came back from Florida, and I got real slim and I was getting in shape. I was playing basketball. He made sure I didn't overeat, stuff like that. And then anytime I go and see my mom's like, "Oh my god, like, are you okay?" Like,
Is my son eating?
yeah, they feeding you. Yeah, that's the difference. My mom will fucking fill my plate up, make sure I'm like full, and my dad just make sure I eat enough. Shit like that. He taught me basketball. I love basketball. He was like my first teacher in basketball. He's the reason why I even have a jump shot. And anyone said me shoot, I could shoot. You know what I mean? But besides that, the only thing I regret, I would say, is like, but I wouldn't say too much regret because I have multiple siblings, all different, parents. So, but like, of course, it would be good to like have your parents in the same household just so you can have that good balance. There was no balance, but at the end of the day, they all did their best job raising me. College graduate, high school graduate. I got to travel to 5 different countries. I got to play ball not only for my teams in the school, but teams in the city. Also got to play for teams across seas and professional a little bit. So it was they did a great job, and also got to work for Comedy Central. Shout out to my cousin Rocky for landing that for me. Appreciate that. And I'm here now. Oh yeah, I don't think I said this, but I'm African American. I look really black. I'm a big black guy walking around the streets. So, most people might see me intimidating until they have a conversation with me and realize I'm a cool ass dude until you piss me off. But it's that's how I was growing up. Obviously growing up in the Bronx, you get a little poverty stricken. You got to go through stuff, especially when you don't have both parents in the household. So dealing with that, having to struggle, having to work your way up, like you said, you just had to do what you had to do. You had to become independent. You had to go to school. You had to get a job, and at this point, you had to provide for yourself and for your family at a young age, where most people would be privileged to just live their lives. Make those decisions as what you want to do versus like what you have to do in order to survive, But I can't really regret anything growing up besides me fracturing my knee, fucked up my basketball career. Yeah.
Well, what else were you into besides basketball?
Um, Growing up besides basketball, I mean, honestly, I was heavily into
And,
basketball
and
growing up.
outside selling drugs, apparently.
Wow. Well, first and foremost, let me put this out there: I never sold drugs in my life. Never did that. Okay. But yeah. I mean, basketball, video games has been big interest for me. Wrestling. Well, back to video games. Shout out to my cousin Tyrone. He bought me my first Xbox and Halo, and that's like that broke the door for me. Yeah, because as a kid, obviously,
The Go game,
everyone got the
Halo, the Go
PlayStation to play
game.
like the Crash Bandicoots, the Spyros. Because you're a
Yes.
kid, you just play what you do. Yeah, but once
Mm-hmm.
high school
Big
times and
facts.
stuff like that, you become more in your interest in different video games, and that's when my video game expansion extended. I'm also like a little bit of anime. I'm not gonna say I'm too much of an anime freak. I watch Naruto, some Bleach and shit like that. Um, what else? I mean, I like entertainment production. Um, as you see, we doing this podcast right now. This is a big passion of mine. I get to speak all the time. You know what I mean? Everyone knows me, knows I speak a lot. Uh, I'm trying to get into a little bit of acting, and I actually have some stuff on YouTube already. I just remembered, because that shit was from like when I was like 15. Working at doing an intern at City Hall and stuff. And I did a little bit of acting gigs after my internship and my little job at Comedy Central. I worked at what's this shit called? It was called The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore. And did a little acting gigs with some of the interns I was with. It was pretty cool. So I'm looking to expand that now more. I did the management thing. I was a boss. I ain't gonna go into details of all the companies and shit, but I was a boss in some companies working for flagships, had a lot of employees, did the corporate life, It was fun. Being able to like not only just like feel like a leader, but having the responsibilities and the authority to be a leader. It felt great, but I'd rather do it at my own pace. I'd rather do it uh, in my own company, not someone else's initiative. So that's why I'm here now at this point in my life, trying to create that. What you got for me, Spread?
Oh, that was an interesting story. Yeah, I thought my mom was tough and could be overbearing, but I've never heard why you the drug part that both of your parents assume you guys are up to no good.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah,
Bro,
and it's complete difference.
my mom used to infiltrate my phone, bro. Like I don't know how she used to get the numbers of my friends, and every time I was hanging out, if I didn't respond, she'd call
Nah,
my friends.
my mom never did that, but she would
So
stalk my like social
yeah,
media. Anybody who comments or I'm friends with, she would decipher and go through their pages, see what it. She'll know them more than I know them at that point. She'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I saw them on your page." I'm like, what do you mean you saw them on my page? But yeah, there's a lot of fears with some of these parents. They don't want to lose a child and shit like that.
no, which is
Yeah, I know.
understandable, but like there's a way to do it.
I don't.
Like I don't want to die either, dog. So like, come on, let's
That's
work
a
something
fact.
out.
One question before I get to my story: where are both of your parents from? Carlton and Myra.
Oh, my mom's like straight from DR. Like she came here in like the what is it now? Like the 80s now? No, she had to come here before that. But she's been here for a long time, so she's pretty much this is all she's known for. Have like
And your
at
dad?
least
Yeah,
half her life or more than that.
do it.
Oh, my dad's from he's from Honduras too. He's like he came over here too. I don't know when he came over here though, but I don't know too much about my dad's side. I know I have aunts and uncles and stuff like that. Like once he like they separated and he stopped showing up, I just, honestly just
Yeah,
like went my own way.
I mean, my family up until my great grandmother, they were all they were born here, but my mom's side of the family from Barbados. My dad's side of the family, from what I know, is basically from the South. I just had a conversation with my dad about this too because I don't know too much more than like you know when around slavery and the time it ended, we were that family tree ended at the South. I'm trying to know more about that. So that's still yet to be known.
All right, same here as far as family, southern roots. I guess with that, I'll jump into my story. So, uh, for those who don't know, I'm Rodney. I have two older brothers, two older sisters. So I am the youngest of five. Uh, both of my parents, before they met each other, they already had one child of their own. Once they came together, they end up having three kids together, including myself. Um, my dad's family, not really as close with my dad's family as I am with my mom, but what do I know of my dad's family? They're from here, and my grandmother's from Alabama, so we have like southern roots. Everyone on my dad's side, as far as like my uncles and aunts, they have like different parents, so I'm not too sure where else my family comes from. Uh, my mom's side, her family is from Virginia and South Carolina. I've been to both and visited family in Virginia. Growing up as a kid, like our like summer's vacations and like middle school and like elementary school was spent in Virginia Beach. You know, hotels, going to visit my mom's family, and they're like real countryside. Not a lot of you know, just deserted. A lot of little few houses, few people, a lot of fucking trees and bugs, which I fucking hated. And New York City kids, when you go down south, it's like, what the hell is this? And you hear a fucking cricket. I remember having to sleep in whoever's house we were visiting. I used to hate the fucking sound of a cricket or a fucking some type of bug crawling up you or something.
Yeah, the South in New York City It's two different things. The city is different than the country. That shit is a true difference. It's slower. It's quieter.
Definitely quieter.
It's a lot more buggy.
And
Yeah, that shit is wild. No, that's a fact.
I think it's just the
I
rest of the
hate the
country, bro.
sun. Like even to this
Honestly.
day, I'm not really a hot weather kind of person. But besides,
You're born in the winter or the fall or the
that's
winter,
true.
right?
Yeah, I'm born in the fall, so yeah. So Scorpio all day. So
You're born in that cusp,
right, like
right before the winter
it's
start.
right before it gets like freezing fucking cold.
Yeah.
But besides that, I love like being down south. As a kid, A's and B's. I remember being in second and third grade, and they wanted to like move me up to the next grade. Um, I remember getting my.
He's a smart guy.
But you know, it's funny. I believe my family used to not my family, but my
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
specifically my brothers and sisters used to call me that. But you know, I was the youngest. Of course, I was seen as like a mama's boy to like my brother and my sisters. Um, I did say I'm the youngest out of five, so I grew up in a household with one of my brother and my two sisters. My oldest brother, who's half Puerto Rican, he grew up with his mom. Let me just put that out there. But yeah, that was me. Quiet kid, uh, smart throughout school. Um, I was a skater, inline skater, rollerblades. That was my thing as a kid. So my sisters taught my brother and I how to skate. And from there, it was like whenever we finished homework and it felt nice outside throughout the school year, or even when summer vacation came, once it was like 12:30, we were grabbing our skates, running outside, calling our friends, come out, can you come out? And we was just always skating, scooters, bikes. We was like rocket power, you know.
Yeah.
we was like that. And I'm not gonna lie, my brother, this kid was just like he should have been in the X Games. this kid, he,
Explains.
yeah,
Oh,
X player
fucking
from
brink.
Brink, yeah. Matter of fact, that was like our favorite fucking movie as a kid
I'm
because we
weak.
just loved fucking skating. And like my brother was that kid jumping off ramps, doing 360. I could do it, but I wasn't as fearless at that time. I'm just like, let me assess the situation. Am I gonna hurt myself? Bust my ass? Let me see my brother go first, and then I'll do it. That was me. And like I remember, like we would go to the park, and like we see the older kids. They're like jumping on the park benches, grinding, and we're just like, yo, teach us that. Like, how do you do that? And then like, oh, how you do a manual on skates on rollerblades, and they taught us that. That I
You know how to do all that?
huh?
You know how to do all
Bro,
that?
I'm yeah with skate.
I want to see that shit.
Yeah,
I want to
I
see.
got bro. And sometime I got both of y'all. I'm gonna buy because I plan on buying a new pair just to get back into it, feel like a kid again. I got y'all. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I seen Scar too much to even try that shit at this point. You remember that show?
Scarred. Yeah,
Scarred.
on like MTV.
Yeah. That's what
Oh
just
my god,
reminded
that's
me
on
of. I'm like, you
MTV.
trying
Oh,
to
bro,
trick
that
and
shit was
then some shit
gross.
happens. I'm good.
I I was careful because in a black home, you come home with some shit like that, you're gonna be going to the hospital
Yeah,
and get
blamed.
your ass beat.
What the fuck were you doing?
See, I'm in the Spanish phone. I remember I broke my hand in high school one time. Like I didn't know it was broken at the time though. I just know I hurt myself playing flag football, and my hand was sore. I'm like, all right, cool. I think I'll just feel better afterwards. A couple of days passed, like, yo, my hand's still sore. I can't remove it. I was like, you be alright. It wasn't until like I accidentally bumped my hand into a wall, and that shit hurt like fucking hell, that they decided to take me to the doctor, and I got a cast and all that shit. Well, I didn't want to listen to me,
Yeah, our parents come from that
think I
generation
was
where they
literally making
just
shit up.
walk it off. Like, but yeah, we were like into like I remember there was this one time these kids from like I don't know in my area, but like from different block, they came over. They was just like, yo, set up a ramp and we could just go at it, your guys against our guys, and we was just like set the ramp up in front of my house. We were jumping over like uh remember like those cases that like Coca-Cola cans used to come with? They don't package them like this anymore, but we used to like stack up crates, jump over crates, see who could do the best trick. Like we used to like do that as a kid. I was like probably like the best time of my childhood. That and like Virginia Beach, being in Virginia Beach. I didn't start playing. So the first sport I started playing, like actual sport, was baseball. One of my neighbors, he had two sons around the same age.
Mm.
He used to tell my mom like, hey, they're good kids and they know my sons. Can I, play baseball with them? He taught us how to play baseball, and from my knowledge, I remember he was telling us like we got like a first official game or exhibition game coming up like on this upcoming weekend, and I remember like going to his house and nobody was there. So after that, like we never played baseball again. uh, so I started playing basketball in fifth grade, and my dad was a basketball fan. By the way, I grew up with both parents in a home. I noticed that was different from my story compared to the both of y'all stories. Um, so my dad was into basketball, big Michael Jordan fan, big Tim Duncan and the Spurs fan. Um, he tried to teach us the game. My brother was always more flashy, offensive minded. I was more about defense, the intangibles, and
It's a fact.
like I couldn't always hit every shot, but my dad just loved that. Like I put the effort in, and my brother, could just nail every shot. And my father was just like, "You gotta play defense." Like they don't understand playing defense. Like that was my dad. And my dad had like that old school Derek Fisher jump shot. So he would shoot, and I'm just like, I didn't know nothing much about basketball, but I'm like, that just looks weird the way he's fucking shooting it behind his head. And then like while I'm learning basketball, like obviously I can't shoot the fucking ball with the ball behind my head like my father did. But he had hang time on that jump shot. Like he shot like Derek Fisher, but his hang time was like
Oh,
fucking I don't know, Kobe Bryant or something. Like it's like
yeah, that Derek Fisher jump shot was serious.
and my dad would nail that shit. And
Big
I'm just like,
facts.
what? And I like even as I got older and I try to block it, I was just like, I'm getting taller. I'm getting a little longer now. I'm gonna be able to block it. I'm on my way down, and he's still in the goddamn air, releasing that goddamn ball. And I'm just so yeah, got to basketball around fifth grade. Really started to like watch it and whatnot in 2003, and I think that's the All Star game that was in Atlanta. KG won MVP. When I seen him play,
It's
I was just
Atlanta.
like, right, because Vince Carter gave
Yep.
him the starting spot.
Jordan's last All
Right.
Star.
So I remember watching Kevin Garnett, and I'm just like, who
His
the
spot.
fuck
Yep.
is this? Tall, lanky dude. I was just like, all right, I'm tall. I ain't dark skin like him, but I'm like, I'm long. I'm like, who is this fucking guy? Like, and I was just like trying to look at the back of the jersey, 21 Garnett. So I was a Kevin Garnett fan from there. Um, Middle school, I was like, yeah, started playing basketball in middle school. Um, I even like joined junior Knicks in middle school, and the thing my brother hated, and another one of my friends hated, it was like when we go to the park and we're playing these same fucking kids, you play your game, you play serious, but when we're fucking in the school and we're playing junior Knicks with the jerseys on, you act like you don't know how to play, and it's like, and my brother used to get on me. He was just like, yo, you act like you don't want to play or you don't know how to play, but we play these same fucking kids outside on the weekends in this park and Soundview this, and it's just like you act like you know how to play. He said you play, the way you should play, but whatever. Um, by middle school, one of my sisters got me into like poetry, and like she forced me. She would have to write poems, and she was always into reading, real smart. Like this one sister of mine was like, I'm speaking up, real fucking smart. Man, I just sit there and listen to her poems when I didn't want to, and then eventually I liked poetry. And if Carlton, I don't think you remember, but I entered the poetry contest back in.
I remember that
All
shit.
right.
That's when I found out you was a poet. I was like, oh shit, this thing is fire.
So I don't know if you remember,
Shit was mad
we
deep.
had a poetry club. It only lasted like ninth grade.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I didn't meet Ryan there, but Ryan used to go. Um, I think Jarrell, Rob.
That's when they split up. That's when they split up the times. Like half the students come in the morning, half the students come in the afternoon, right?
I think you're probably right. Cause yeah, matter of fact,
Yeah, because I had the mornings and I was out.
by the time they did the split, yeah, we didn't have the poetry club, and it was dope because we had the guy from the hip hop group, the corner. Wait, no, not the corner. What the fuck is the group name? They're in Common's video called The Corner. I can't think of the group. But we even made like a CD back then, and I remember like every week our assignment was like to come up with a certain poem around a specific topic. I remember we even had to do one around our like zodiac sign or whatever. Um, Fast forward high school, that's where I met Carlton.
Yeah,
Yeah, Carlton and I we met.
I had a cast
Yeah,
on. But
he was
anyway, yo, it was crazy. You know what the fucked up part
Weak.
was? It was 5 days. 5 days before high school started. Right. I went. I had everything. I had all your clothes. Your shoes. You had the fresh haircut. You got everything. You ready for school. You ready for your first day of school, right? And then I went to go play ball. Fractured my knee. I had to be in the cast for 6 weeks. I was tight.
Jeez.
It fucked up my chances of being on the basketball team that year. And I was already my coach already scouted me in that summertime too.
I didn't know that.
Like he already came to a few of us. Yeah, you remember when we did the summer bridge or whatever it was, that
Oh, I
little
forgot
5 day
about that.
thing. Yeah, so we played ball that like the last day, and the coach was
Oh right,
there, and
I didn't
he
show
took
up. I left.
me.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he took me. It was a few of us. I think it was I think Jeremy, Fabe, Kadeem, me, and I think Joe
Yeah.
Hankins, and he was just telling us like he like our game. He wants us all to try out. But then I couldn't even try out because I fucking fractured my knee and I was in the cast during the tryouts. And then there was like another 6 weeks after that to do physical therapy, and that shit was they already had the team, so I had to wait till next year to play. That shit was the worst.
And I'll let you tell the story how that one day you showed up when you
Well,
showed up without a late pass.
oh, yo, first of all, shout out to Miss McBride. She's one of the best teachers we could have. But yeah, she was strict. Yo, it was like my first day. First and foremost, it was my first day. I can't take the stairs because I have a whole bull fucking cast from my foot to my thigh, right? Um, so I had to take the elevator, but the elevators weren't accessible to students. So I had to wait for someone to plug me into the elevator, right? So I go and take the elevator. I had to wait, because this is after lunchtime. After lunchtime. So everyone going upstairs. I'm waiting for someone to let me on the elevator. Someone finally let me on the elevator. After they let me on the elevator, I didn't even know where the fuck the class was, and no one was there to help me. So I'm searching for it, and I finally found it. And then this fucking teacher gonna come and look at me with the only attitude like you're late, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, like. I got this cast on, and she looked at me like she didn't give two
Yeah,
shits, and I was just like, "Wow!" Like, I was like, "What did you?" I was like, "Damn, son! Like, no break for nobody. Like,
yo,
shit."
my boy was sweating, like you could tell. He got his like bag hanging off his shoulder, and she did not give two shits. She's a nice lady, by the way, but that
Yeah,
was
she's
just
real
kind of laughing,
respectable.
and I felt
But
bad
she
because
set the
everyone
tone.
started laughing, and I was like, wow.
In his high school. I don't even remember that part. You know what was the worst part? You know what was the most embarrassing part about having a cast on as you're like in high school? Yo, they had to give me a short yellow bus, right? To take me there. So not only do I get taken on a short bus, and no disrespect. I don't want anyone to feel disrespect for having to be on a bus for any disability, rather it be a physical or mental disability. But like growing up, you being on a short bus meant like a certain thing,
Right,
and you getting ridiculed for it.
right,
So like, being in high school and having that mentality, you don't want to be embarrassed. I'm showing up to the front of the school. Mind you, it's two
Mm-hmm.
high schools in one building, so I'm seeing high schoolers from LGJ and high schoolers from my high school all pulling up, and then here I come on this short bus, coming and on this like the little platform on the buses that like let you down for people who need like in a wheelchair or
Yeah.
something. That motherfucker taking me, so it's like I'm on this fucking stand being taken down for everybody to see on the short bus. I'm like, yo, this is so fucking embarrassing. I could not wait for that cast to come off and I could take the train like regular people. I'm like, yo, everyone knew who I was just because of that. Like, oh, you the kid in the cast. You was a kid in the cast. You was a kid in the cast. I was like,
And
yeah,
no,
fuck
you know
you.
why I give you that? Because even though I didn't know you well at that time, man, like some kids would have just said, "F this," or they would have just like. And I'm
Nah,
pretty sure you had your days where like it was just like, all right,
Big
enough is
facts.
enough. But like from the outside looking in, it looked like you handled it well, better than most kids.
I mean, because that goes back to my parents again. Like, I don't want to, I can't blame them for what they did. Whatever. Because again, the way how my parents were strict about school, like before that, I never missed a day of school. Like 100% attendance all the way up until I had to miss the first 3 weeks because I couldn't get transportation to school because of my cast. And then once that was set, I was good. But like they always put into me like there's no excuses. You just have to go. If you're sick, you go. If you're a little bit hurt, you go. So yeah, like that was just like I had to. I had no choice. It was like shit. So that wasn't even a mentality like, oh, I'm not gonna go. I can't. Like that was not a mentality. That was like I have to go. I have no choice. I'm just gonna be embarrassed. So by the time when it was time for me to take that cast off, bro, I mean like I wasn't even supposed to. My mom was trying to get me like to take the bus for like another week or so, but I was like nah because I couldn't walk yet. I needed the crutches to walk still because I needed to like regain strength in my leg and all this
Right.
other stuff. Like those first few days, I'm like. I'm doing my best to try to walk with no fucking with no crutches. I'm like, I'm not taking that bus. I don't want to take no fucking bus.
And once
Like,
again, no
that was
disrespect
a
to
fact.
anybody with
So
any physical and mental disabilities.
yeah, no disrespect to them because now I understand it, and of course you have a mindset before you even know like what it meant. But like it wasn't even, like people didn't have even mental disabilities. Like seriously, people who just needed a wheelchair, people who just hurt, who just needed assistance being transported. Like it really had nothing to do with their capabilities and who they are as a
That's a
person.
fact.
So shout out to them.
That's a fact. Yeah, I'll never forget that day. It's like, oh, poor kid, like making fun of him, laughing at him, and this teacher is just like, you still got to get a late pass or detention. I was just like,
Yeah, like you asshole, but set the tone. She probably did that, and I started
they
learning
set
this
the
more
tone.
too because I think Afria used to say it too. If you ask for like a accommodation in front of everybody, then of course the answer is going to be no because then everybody thinks they can
Yeah,
do it too. So like her, she like not going to give me a pass because then everybody else think they can make an
and
excuse to
she's a
have a
woman
pass too.
also.
And she's a woman, so and you know how that was. You gotta fucking stand your ground. We went to an all boys school, right, which is filled with a bunch of black and Latino males, and you got a fucking woman. She wasn't even a big woman; she was a tiny woman, so she had to let down that authority, and she did a
She
great job.
did. She definitely did. But yeah, we went to high school together. Played a lot of ball together. Yeah, those
Right.
runs during gym. Me, you, Joe, Daryl. Uh, Me, you, Joe, Daryl.
Toby, if you listening, I'm still down for that. I know y'all been talking shit for years.
Man, we killed them then. We'll kill
We
them now.
here.
I ain't even stressing that. They ran from the smoke years
Yeah,
ago, so
man.
best of luck to them. See that they're doing their thing. But yeah, graduated, and then that's when like my life took a turn after like graduation. Uh, I had switched schools. I ended up going to a small school out in Queens, York College, and I was having a lot of I wasn't having a lot of family problems, but I was going to school and my mom wasn't working as much due to health issues. And I'm just like, all right, I don't really have the funds to go to school, like, just miscellaneous things, just to have money in your pocket kind of thing. At this time, I did skip over the fact that my dad died in 2006. So I was entering freshman. No, I was entering sophomore year.
Sophomore.
So My mom was the only person I could count on. So like my mind wasn't in like my education. I just like that's all I kept thinking about. I was just like, damn, I'm like going to school every day. Like I just felt like I was just like barely hanging on at that time. And I was 17 up to that point. I turned 18. And then back then, it was kind of harder to find jobs at that age. Like you can apply everywhere, but they wouldn't call you back or they just want some kind of experience. Nowadays, they're just like, all right, you 17, you 18, we hire you. You meet the requirements. Like, so I
Yeah.
was dealing with that. And then I I had this lung issue that like sidetracked me for my entire spring semester. Me thinking, all right, this is high school. Okay, let me do this assignment and I'll hand it to you. That shit didn't work. I don't know why I thought it would work, but nope, I got a few incompletes and whatever the fuck the grade is. I can't think of the other term. And that like kind of messed with me mentally because I'm just like, damn, like I've always did well in school, even if I had like a bad semester or one bad grade, like I always able to bounce back. And that like period was hard for me to bounce back because I was just like, damn, like I feel like I didn't get like one goddamn satisfactory kind of grade because I was home for the entire spring semester dealing with the lung thing, and I just let it console me mentally. And then eventually, a few years later, I did get my associates from another small school. I was transferring to a SUNY here in the city to finish up my bachelor's, but by then I had my two daughters, and other things in life got in my way, and I never finished my bachelor's. But there's still time left while I'm still breathing. And now, I'll be 30 at the end of the year. I have two daughters, and my main focus is just finding a career that'll just make me truly happy instead of just, you know what, I'm just here for a paycheck, take care of this bill. That's just not the way to go. Um, I have a few things lined up, and I'm just keep my fingers crossed and put the effort and consistency in to make sure I achieve those goals. Um, that's basically
Yes,
my
sir.
my story wrapped up really quick. Um, I probably could get into some things a little more because you guys didn't have both parents in a home. For me, it was I had both parents, but my mom was like the sole provider, the breadwinner. She was the disciplinarian. My dad did work too, but his his income wasn't enough, and that always caused problems. And the two, well, all three of us are in relationships, and you push your partner to do better. But if someone doesn't want to do better for themselves, eventually it affects the relationship. And if you have kids, it can it can affect the kids also too. So there was always some back and forth about that. And as a kid, you look at it as like, damn, I just don't want to see my mom and dad argue. There was no physical fighting or anything like that going on. So as someone who's 29 now, I understand it even better because I'm pretty sure either one of you wouldn't date someone or even have kids with someone who doesn't want to like progress. And there's always going to be forks in the road, but you got to overcome them.
Yeah.
And then especially the fact,
That is
Myron,
true.
you're the
One
only
thousand
child,
percent
so it's
true.
probably much easier from your mom compared to like me and Carson, where they have like multiple kids, older, younger.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't too bad to be honest.
Right, same
She
here.
did
Like
what she
I've,
could, and I
you know,
appreciate that.
what I had noticed
But it
at a
wasn't too bad.
previous job is you really don't know how good or bad you have it until you hear other people's stories. So
Yeah.
even things I thought maybe I wanted that wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
necessity that as a kid you felt like you was missing out on or whatever the case is. When you come down to it, we was never homeless. Clothes was always clean. Always had nice apartments, by the way, too. Uh,
Yep.
this is not a knock to anyone, but where you come from, our communities, everybody like assumes that you come from the projects or something like that. I never lived in the projects. Um,
Word.
my mom always had like she had like some pretty interesting jobs
Same.
too. So my dad. So even though my dad wasn't like the breadwinner, he was definitely like everyone call him like the glue of the family because he always kept those good, enjoyable times with me, my siblings. You know, watching this or a funny story about that, or let me teach you about this from back in the day. Like just what you're looking for as a kid, just that quality time, whether it's watching a Mike Tyson fucking fight or watching the Spurs win their championship, things like that. Or even like my dad, he used to come outside, like I said, play basketball, skate, ride bikes with us and whatnot. So
That's cool. Yeah, my dad, he was real active. Going around, he like knows everyone in his neighborhood. He used to volunteer in my middle school. Me and my brother even too. So like people know him as coach and Mr. Giles, and again, he like an OG from the block. So people come up to him with respect. He gives a lot of wisdom. Everything like that. So my mom, she just a caring. She'll sacrifice anything and everything for you. She'll be broke, starving. It don't really matter as long so children's good and everything else is good, and as far as she's concerned, everything is good. So shout out to the parents for that. Um, you know, shout out to y'all too for sharing your stories. And to your parents and everybody's families. Just saying, thank you again for sharing. Hope you all learned something about each other today.
yeah, I definitely
All right.
did. Maybe next
Yeah.
time we'll share some embarrassing stories.
Yeah, same. Same.
Yeah. Trust me,
It
this
was
was just like a general week. If we get into some real detailed stories, shit, that's another couple hours.
oh well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have stories for days. I don't want to share it. Especially my what's it
I
called?
could imagine. Yeah, you know what's
My
funny?
quirky ass. Yeah,
So
big
like me,
time.
obviously, me and Mario know each other from college, like we already said. But like, he got his own group of friends, man. I remember one day they all came to the store who I worked at, and it was like the most fucking weirdest, diverse group of friends. But they all like knew each other from like from the ones from the Xbox, like Josh, these
Wait,
people
what friends were
that's
those?
yeah, like all these niggas know
Oh,
each
you
other
talking
from
about
Xbox
Josh and
Live and
Amos and
shit.
them, bro? Hell
And
yeah,
then like,
yeah, yeah.
it was funny. Like I could tell, like just by the way they act and the energy they had together, like the fucking stories they should have, shit that you do, man.
Bro, mind you, spread like they live in Florida. They don't live in like in New York type shit.
Shout
And
out,
I
what's
met
up, Josh?
Josh used to live here in Brooklyn, and then he moved
We
to
out to
Florida, and then
hoop.
he met yeah, shout out Josh. And then he
Oh, okay.
it was open the
Thanks.
other day. Tyreek told me, but that was back in October. Just heads up. Story for another day. Story for another day. But yeah, so spread. I met Josh through Xbox. We were back in the Halo days, back in
Wow.
like OG Halo
Mhm.
days, like our OG Xbox. Like this has to be like 2005 type shit. He moved down to Florida, and then he made friends with all those Florida guys like Amos, Carlton, Nico, Aaron. Shout out to them too. And yeah, so ever since then we've just been cool. I met Josh. I met Josh for the first time. I think it was like in 2009. He came up. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go hang out with you guys. I'm gonna fly up to New York because he missed being in New York and he just wanted to meet us for the first time." And yeah, and everything's history, bro. I go down and visit them. They come up here and visit us, and yeah. And that was all through like the like Xbox. Like I
Niggas
met
spend
them
more
through
time with
like
each other
playing a
on
video
video
game, and
games
then we
than they
built
spend
a
more
real
time with their
friendship.
friends in real life.
That's funny.
And it's true though.
1,000 fucking percent. And then we have a chat called the Hoes. Yeah, we all have a hoe title. Like I think I'm sexy hoe. Josh is tatted hoe because he got man tats. Yeah, and then we just sit up with each other on there, or we talk about like basketball or
Yeah,
whatever, and we just hey, you gonna get on or whatever, and all
they
that shit.
cool. They some dope people. But yeah, so I can imagine stories we could share, but I think we cracked the code for today. Again, this is your boy Carlton. You got Rodney, you got Myron. We signing out for the day and see what we're gonna unlock next.
Tune in.
Peace.
Big facts. Tune in for the next time.